So you want to get your Cubase templates from looking like this to this. Don't worry, I got you. Let's go. Hey, what's up? This is Alonzo and you're watching Live Media. And today what I'm going to show you guys is how to get your Cubase templates looking like this. I'm going to start from an empty project and then we can build it from there, okay? So let's just actually create an empty template. As you can see, some may wonder, how did I get this mixer down there? Just want to let you know right here, all I did was just click on this. And at the bottom, it gives you the options of your mix console, your editor window, drum machine, sampler, chord pads. This is how chord pads look, etc. Right? So I like having my mix console there. So this is a template for when I start creating and I want to do vocals. So I just have my mixer there and I can make my adjustments as I need. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the first tracks. Okay? So I like to create vocal tracks. And I create about 3 to 4, all right? So here we have them. We have 4 Vox tracks that we can record individually on. So I just actually go ahead and I do each one separately. So what I'm gonna do here is, as you can see, just to show you again what I did, all right? Let me just remove this and we'll just actually do it from the beginning. So what I did here is I'm using a Mac. So on my mouse, I right-clicked, I went to add audio tracks, and right down here, I just added 4 tracks, and then I just typed in what I want it to be, and then here we go. That's just my input and everything like that, but it's coming out as mono, right? So here we go, mono tracks, click on mono, and then I just here add tracks, and then I added 4 tracks here. So what I do here is I go and I add a folder, okay? And we are going to call this vocals. Or you know what? Better yet, to clean it up, we're gonna call it lead vocals. Okay, and I just add 1, that's all I need. It's just 1, so we got the folder track. So this is a folder. What the folder allows you to do is actually group all these tracks together, and I'm gonna show you how to do that, okay? So what you can do is you can actually individually drag each track in. And if you notice, it's in the folder track, okay? So I'm gonna show you a quicker way to do it. So if I click on this one, and as you can see, I highlight the first one, then I go to the bottom one, and remember I'm using a Mac. So on a Mac, it would be Shift, then I click the last one, it highlights all the tracks, and then I can drop it in. On a PC, I'll be honest, I think actually on a PC it's the same thing. What you do is you'd highlight the track and then you click Shift and then highlight the bottom one and it'll grab all the tracks and the same thing. So as you can see, I just dragged it into the folder. So now if I do this, everything's in that one folder. So it's nice and neat. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna go on and create some other tracks just to show you how it looks, okay? So here we are, we're gonna create some BGs, backgrounds, and we are going to do about, let's say 6, right? So now you notice what happened here, it actually created those tracks in the same folder, and that's not what I want. So I'm just gonna actually go to undo, add tracks, or on a Mac you can see Command Z, and I'm just gonna undo it, right? So I got everything back here. So what I wanna do is I wanna create it outside of that track. So I just click in an empty space right there. And as you see, I double click, the system is actually programmed to actually create a MIDI track right away, but that's not what I want, okay? So as you can see, I just clicked here. Now I'm gonna add the tracks, right click. Let's reset BGs. We're gonna create 6, 5 or 6, we'll just do 6. There we go. And now everything's outside of that track, right? So there, I opened it up, you can see it's outside of that track. So the same thing I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna create another folder, okay? I'm gonna just call this backgrounds, okay? all we need is just one. Unless you want to create more folders because maybe you're doing something different in regards to maybe like different textures or anything like that, and you want to be able to separate them, you can create as many folders as you want and just label the tracks differently, right? So we're going to do the same thing. Just here, shift, pick the last one, highlight, drag everything right into that folder, nice and neat. There we got it. We got it separated. Boom. There you go, right? Separated. We're going to go on to the next thing. We're just going to create a couple of tracks just so you can see how it is. So we're going to do effects tracks. Now with effects tracks, what they actually do, it actually groups everything already inside the folder. So as you can see, it says create inside folder, right? So we're going to do that. So we're going to leave it blank. I'm not going to label it or anything like that right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it inside the track, and then I'll go to those tracks individually. And then what I'll do is I'll just click on them and just re-enter the name. So I'll show you how I do that. Okay. So we're going to create two. No effects, as you can see. So let's say we've got these individual tracks just to show you here, right? In the folder, I'm going to call this one reverb. And then I'm going to call this one delay. So we now know these are our reverbs and our delay tracks, okay? Go a step further, we can add the effect here. Let's see, we're going to just choose any reverb, I guess. And as you see, I'm just choosing any type of reverb. You don't necessarily have to have these plugins that I have. I'm just showing you how to actually create a template fairly quickly, okay? So here, doing the same thing, delay. And we're going to just click on the Echo Boy. So now we've got our reverb and we've got our delay, okay? So what I like to do is I also like to create instrument tracks. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to create, let's say, 4 instrument tracks, okay? I'm not going to label them. I'm going to do the same thing, just click outside. Forgot to do that. Just click outside just so the system recognizes I want to put the next tracks outside of these folders, okay? And then I'm just going to do the same thing that we did for. There we go. Now look, everything's outside of it. I'm going to create a folder again. I'll label this instruments. All right, we just need one. We're going to group these together. So click on the first one, then shift, and then just drag it into the folder. So now we're there. Okay, so if you want to, as we saw, we just added blank tracks, right? So I'm going to go ahead, these already labeled instruments. I'm going to go ahead and just label the instruments. Like, let's say you just want to have a template going so you can actually pull it up and just start going right away. So you can use your piano, bass, whatever you want. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do that. I label them. All right. Let's see here, drums. And let's say strings. All right. So here we got that. It's in the one folder, as you can see. Now what we want to do is we want to add instruments to it. So to do so, I'm going to go all the way over to the right. I'm going to click on this little symbol here. As you see, it says show hide right zone. Okay. Or you can use the command keys where it says command plus option R. Right. Just click on that. And as you can see, this window opens. Here are my instruments. So I'm just going to take the first piano just to show you. A drag and drop. Very similar to Studio One. Anybody who says, oh, you know what, why don't you use Studio One? I prefer Cubase. I just like Cubase. I've had it for the longest time. I'm fairly quick on Cubase. I just upgraded to Cubase 15. And the truth is, hey, not knocking it, but Studio One stole this from Cubase. But hey, you know what? You guys might say, no, it's the other way around, but Studio One stole this from Cubase. We've had this for the longest time. I just love Cubase. That's all it is. All right, so we said bass. So let's say we're going to add, you know what? We can, oh yeah, one more thing is you can type it up here, let's say you're looking for an instrument, contact, right? So right there, I just found contact. And as you saw, it just pulled it up. I just screwed up. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get rid of that. Bring it back just to the home. So here we go. As you can see, I typed in contact. I'll do that again, right? It brought up contact. I can drag it over, or I can get rid of this. I can even click here, default. If I wanted to, I can go to category or by vendor, which is currently in, right? Select by category. And as you can see, look, all the different other instruments come up, right? So the category shows you things like, we have sampler, synth, just go through it, wave, synth, sampler, other, and generator, right? So I'm gonna go back to vendor. And what this vendor does, it actually gives you the names of the different types of plugins. So let's see here, close everything. This actually allows you to collapse it quicker, all right? So if you click on here, it actually just collapses everything just so you can see the vendors, or here, and it opens all the instruments. I should say opens all the different vendors. So I'm gonna go back here, collapse it. Let's jump to native instruments. I got contact right here. Let's click on this one, contact 8. I'm gonna drag that over, right? I'm going to look for a bass. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna close that down, and I'm actually going to use massive. So let's see here, where do I have my massive? Have it in synth. So here we go, massive, just to grab a bass, pull it over, there we go. So let's see here, I'm just gonna choose whatever bass. We've got that added. And then we've got drums. I'm gonna use battery for drums. Pull that over, drop a kit in. We got drums. And then the last thing is strings. You know what? I'm gonna use Arteria. Let's see what we have for strings. Just pull something over. And then we got our strings. We've got, so far, set up leads, backgrounds. We've got our effects here. We've got our strings, right? Okay. Let's just open all of them and let's just see. So I got here, vocals, there we go. Effects, my bad. And then we've got strings, okay? So if you want to see the whole screen just to see what you're doing, we can remove this mixer from the background. We can always add it back by just right here, all the way over to the right. This third icon, or third one, just click on that, it's gone. So we can see the full screen and we can see what we're doing, okay? All right, what we want to do now is, because we want to make it look pretty, so we're going to just color the templates, right? So here now, we're going to select, and we're going to choose what color palette we want, and then here, that's how we do it, okay? I'm going to show that to you again. Let me just get rid of that, and we're going to do this again. So look, select the track, right? Shift, highlight all the tracks. We're going to go here to a symbol that looks like a color palette. And what we want to do is we want to just color all these tracks and make them red, okay? Now I didn't highlight this one, which I should have done. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Go back to the color palette, make that red. So now we've got all the tracks, okay? So we're going to do the same thing with this one. And we're going to make this yellow. Same thing here. I like to make this one purple, right? And same thing here. So what I'm doing here is selecting the one channel or the one track, and then shift for all of them. Go back to the color palette and just choose a color. Let's say green. All right. So now we've got all our tracks colored, okay? So we know which track is which, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna show you how it looks, as if I was to, like if you were to record something. So here, got this track there, and I'm just gonna pull in something just so you guys can see it, what I'm talking about, all right? This is something that I'm working on right now. I'm just gonna drag it into any one of these folders, really, it doesn't matter where, just to show you how it sounds and how it looks, okay? So now we've got an idea there. That's just something I'm working on, so we've got it there, okay? So as you can see, we've color-coded all the channels here, okay? So I just brought in a track just so you can hear how it sounds, okay? So you can see how it looks once everything's color-coded, right? So there we go. That's the track itself, okay? What we want to do now is we want to go a step beyond that. What we want to do is we want to add reverb and delay, you know what, to our vocal track. What we're going to do here is we have two ways of doing it. We can click on E right there, okay? And we can go to our sends, and you have reverb and delay. We can click on that there, and it just automatically adds it, right? Or the other way we can do this is we have our sends right here. And the way we get that, if you don't have this window popping up, go all the way to the right, fifth button there, just click on this, it'll turn gray, and then we have it here, okay? So we go to our sends, blank window right down there, click on that, click on reverb. You're gonna arm the reverb, right? And we're just gonna play it back. Right, that's with. This is without. This is it with turn it on. That's with it out. Without it. Okay. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the delay itself. Now I used Echo Boy, but you know what? I'm gonna change that to let's do something else. Let's put it with the H delay, okay? So we've got the H delay here. Just gonna go back to the track itself. We're gonna add that delay. Okay, so we're gonna arm it just so you hear it. Right, that's how it sounds. Right? So let's do that again, and I'm gonna let you hear it with it and without it. Right, turned it off. This is with it. You can actually turn it down, how much delay you want. So you can do a mix. Okay. So what we do is we just do the same thing with the backgrounds. We go to the backgrounds, click on the track that you wanted, go to your sends here, click right there, choose your reverb, arm it, and the same thing we do with each track that we want to set up. If you wanted to add reverb and delay to your instruments, it's the same thing, right? So now that we've got all of this set up, right, I can just show you, remember we're talking about your mixer window? So if you look at your mixer window, it now looks like this, okay? So it's color-coded. Everything there, so you got your different colors. You know what your vocal tracks are, your backgrounds, your reverb, and your instruments or whatever you set up. And everything's grouped, okay? So how we save this template, so each time you click on it, it pops up is like this, all right? So anything you do in regards to how you have it set up, whatever instruments you have, whatever tracks you have or anything like that, it's actually gonna save that in the template. So for me, I just kind of like getting rid of everything. I just go to my media pool, and I'm only showing you this is because if you've added something in, like a vocal track or anything like that, you don't want it there for each project. So I'll go here, open this window right here, see where it says audio. I'll just remove it. Okay, I'll just like send it to trash. Where are we? And send it to trash or remove it from pool. I'm just gonna remove it from the pool completely, right? So now this is how our template's gonna look, okay? So what we do here is we go to File, we go down to Save as Template. We have this window that pops up. We can create it, so we just gonna say easy setup. right? So here, as you see, this is my original. This is the one I've created, but this one here is just for showing you guys how to do it. All right, so oopsie, missed it there. So easy setup, okay? We save it, this template's saved. And the way you know it's saved, let's close this project. We're not gonna save it because we didn't record anything or anything like that, right? So there it's closed, but now it brings us to the Cubase hub, okay? Cubase Pro Hub, we look here, this is mine, but this is the one we just created. Click on Easy Setup, we can double click it, or we can click Create, and here you go. You've got your vocals, you've got your instruments, whatever you created. Click on it, you got all the details there. And that's how you create a template in Cubase. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.